Welcome to Faith Points with Dr. Michael Lane. Today we will share with you information about our educational ministry, St. Paul Christian University, as Dr. Lane welcomes Vice President Dr. Mark Utzler to discuss your opportunities for a well-rounded education from the convenience of your home. Now, here's Dr. Lane.
Well, and thank you so much, and it's a joy to be with you. Thanks for tuning in to today's program, and we just have a good time doing these programs. Right now, we do them on Facebook and YouTube, but besides that, now we are on the Daily Gospel Network every Wednesday night at 9 Eastern Time. And so, hey, it's just another outreach, and I'm glad to be able to do it. And today we are so thankful to have as my guest. He's kind of been my right-hand man now for several years. And, golly, I don't know. I think we started about 08 on this project.
Yep.
And, and just to give you a little more background, my wife, Donna, and I formed this school back in 1997. I was serving a church in St. Paul, Indiana. And so given that I have a real respect for St. Paul the Apostle, it just seemed befitting to call our school eventually St. Paul Christian University. Now, we began as a School of Christian Ministry, which is still in existence as an undergrad program. But St. Paul Christian University is a school where we just do a lot of cool things to bring a well-rounded Christian education to you. And my guest today is Dr. Mark Utzler, and he is a deacon in the church, the Evangelical Orthodox Catholic Church, and serves as the Archbishop's assistant, and he's also our vice president of the school. And so, it's just really a cool thing that we're able to work on this. Now, I will tell you that he went into our program and completely revised everything because it really needed it. We knew that we were headed towards a time when we were going to have to do things differently than we ever have done them before. And it was a prophetic venture to begin with. And so we actually set up the school so that you don't have to leave home to do anything at all. You can do it right at home or your office, wherever it suits you to be able to do your work. So I'm going to hand it over to Mark and let him explain to you how he came about these programs. And Doc, if you could just tell us a little bit, give us a little history on how you formed the university as we see it today when we go to spcu.edu.
Sure. And my pleasure to be here to talk about the school that we both have a great passion for. I looked at the School of Christian Ministry and sought to expand the programs for what I saw as current needs and emerging needs, both in laity and clergy ministry, for those who are interested in pursuing, maybe it's their own education, maybe it's for a job that they're wanting to get into, and whether it's full-time ministry, professional ministry, or to be a volunteer, it was done with that in mind, and to be very accessible in terms of the mechanics of it, if you will, how we do the instruction as well as the tuition cost.
So, taking this program or the programs, basically it was a shell, and you had to fill in the blanks, let's say, because when we began this program, it was began the school, it was strictly by correspondence, which meant using the mail service, and so that could become rather clumsy at times. And so what's the difference between the way we used to do it compared to the way we're doing it today?
Well, the way we're doing it today, of course, we're not using the postal service. We're using email of lessons and feedback. And so that speeds up the process a lot. Now, we also understand, life happens with our students. Most of them are working adults and they're balancing the family and career and social and community service aspects of their life while pursuing their educational goals. So we give folks 4 months to complete a course in a current enrollment before needing to go on to the next one, which we feel is ample time. And courses are offered in sequence, so you know what your program is going to be before you start. The feedback with the instructor is timely. All communications are answered within 24 hours is our goal and our intent, including grading feedback, evaluation feedback on lessons. And the format is very similar for each course in terms of their 5-week courses, with the exception of a few, such as if you're doing a doctoral program or have a capstone, which we do in the bachelor's and master's programs as well, then those are longer longer courses, and you have more time to complete them. But it's done with academic rigor and integrity, so that you are learning and you are. I would describe it as we hope that you learn to think and know why you come to certain conclusions in whatever field you're studying. I think that's the overall goal. We're all made in God's image and have the mind of Christ as Christians. So we want to exercise that, make sure that doesn't atrophy. And education is a great way to do that. We have certification programs, associate degree programs, bachelor's, as I had mentioned, master's and doctoral programs, and an education specialist program as well. Now, it's very similar to the way correspondence courses used to work. That's how we keep our overhead low and can keep the tuition very affordable. And so you will be corresponding right now between student and an instructor who is well trained and qualified and has higher degrees and is an expert in the field of what you're studying. So it may seem like a higher tech version of that, but the real value comes in the content and the way that we approach it. We use not textbooks, but books as a main resource for the course, but it's not a book study or a book review at all, as some programs are. Nothing wrong with that. That's not our intent. Our intent is here's a primary source of information about what you may be studying, what the course is about, and then you branch off from that with other resources. And technology today is so great. You don't even have to leave home to go to the library or figure out how do I get to the library when it's open. Like, information is everywhere. And so we help in that process of what you're learning, how you're learning it, where to find things. And I think that it's a real value as you go through your life and apply what you've learned. And that's really the big takeaway is this is practical education, distance theological education, and we want it to be of value and have value in whatever realm God is leading you.
So what you're saying is that we're not going to be bundling up a bunch of books and shipping those out to you. Any resource material you need, we can give you some ideas, but it's up to the student to determine which books they need to work out of. and work accordingly. Is that correct?
Exactly. There is the main resource material, which are books in most courses. We also provide a link where the students can purchase them. A lot of times they're available through Amazon, as an example. And because we're approaching this as teaching to think, if you will, it's not imperative that you have the latest edition or the most expensive book, a new book. And you can find some really good deals, if you will, on Amazon and other booksellers through the used market. So again, we've done this. We've looked around at what others are doing, what experiences we've had, and everyone knows things are prohibitively expensive sometimes,
Sure they are.
most of the time, and we didn't want that to be an impediment. So we can adjust it, if you will, on the curriculum side, so that you don't have to necessarily have just that greatest and latest textbook. It's not that kind of course. You know, if we were studying medicine or something like that, then yeah, we would want to have the latest and the greatest. But we're looking here at what others have said and written and thought about, and bringing that, you know, into now, and what God is speaking to you about. And each
and I agree.
Yeah.
Yes. When it comes to theology, let's face it, we have had the documents for hundreds of years, and then the translations have come from original documents in most cases, of course. And so we do have an opportunity to do some critical thinking.
Yeah.
And to get our minds in a place where, you know, like someone said, I got my mind stayed on Jesus. And I think that is an important thing to understand, because we're not asking you to put your resource monies into a lot of stuff. We're asking you to put your resource monies into your education. And I think that's important to note. And there are some great books. Now, when it comes to the counseling part of it, biblical counseling, to help you be certified as a pastoral counselor, which we do that through our Professional Association of Christian Therapists. Well, we're going to help you understand even a little more in some of the more up-to-date techniques that psychology is putting out there, because you need to be aware of that. If you're a Christian counselor, it doesn't mean that you throw all the other stuff out. It means that you gather and collect, and once again, go through the process of critical thinking, and to be led by the Holy Spirit in what information you use as you're helping people. So we want to be a resource to help you help others. That's bottom line here. And so, I think that is all very important. Well, you're watching a program called Faith Points, and it's today we're focusing on our school, which is St. Paul Christian University. We're not talking brick and mortar building here. We're talking a school, a university without walls, basically. And from that, then we have programs that we can help you with, and we can help you grow and help you to become strong. 2 Timothy 2:10, I believe it is, says this, that study to show yourself approved. King James says it that way: study to show yourself approved unto God. And that is a very key factor in our lives today. How do we do that? Well, Dr. Utzler and I are giving you an opportunity here. We're not the only school that does this, but I can guarantee you we have trimmed our overhead to the place that we make it more affordable, and you can pay for it as you go. You can take a course, pay it, keep on going. And so I think that works well. And I think that from that standpoint, we're able to help people learn how to budget their money as well. And I know financial budgeting is a big deal, and it is problematic for many people, whether you're a Christian or not. But we just live in that kind of world, and that's the way it is. So, where would someone that has not let's say developed a degree yet, they don't even have an associate's, where would they begin?
I think a good place to begin, obviously, on our website, and from there, there are various sections on it. One being degrees, and then the degree requirements. If they're starting out with no degree, we do ask that they have obviously a high school diploma or equivalent of that. And if you're going for a master's, obviously we want to see evidence of through transcripts of a earned bachelor's degree. But those sections on our website, the degrees that we offer, and then the degree requirements, also the courses, the course descriptions are on the website. What you might think of as a course catalog or university syllabus is there, not the syllabi for courses, but certainly the descriptions.
Sure.
And each course has a kind of a guiding question with it that at the end of the course you should be able to answer or respond to. So you sort of know that up front and know that this is where we're going. Kind of gives you the why on the lessons that we have. This is the end point that we're ending up for you having taken this course. And again, it's all about, as Bishop Lane said, critical thinking, and we really need to have that. I would use a different example than well-rounded. We hope our students end up sharp. I think we have too many well-rounded people, and they roll in every direction.
Isn't that the truth? Goodness sakes.
We want a sharpness
Yes.
and take maybe some of that roundness off. Not to say our way is the only way by any means, but more like Jesus. You just go out and love people.
Sure.
And that takes a sharpness of intent. You might think that's kind of a well-rounded way, but I look at it, frame it differently. That it's a sharpness of one's intent and what you are diligent about doing, being about the Father's business.
Right. Well, and that's what we're called to do. I've really struggled with viewing some ministries over the years, and I'm not here to put anyone down. That's not my goal. But as an observation, I sometimes have to ask, where were these people educated? And why are they doing what they're doing? Because I'm not seeing the love of Jesus sometimes.
No.
I'm not seeing that outreach that says, come to Jesus. It's time to be born again. And, here's one of the crazy things. People automatically see me in the collar and they think, yeah, you're Catholic. Okay, well, I am. I'm not Roman Catholic. I am Evangelical Orthodox Catholic, which means we're allowed to be married. And that's the biggie. We do ordain women. And we even ordain Dr. Mark as a deacon. So what can I say? But no, as that being said, you say, well, Catholics don't believe in being born again. Yes, we do. In the Catechism of the Church, it's very clear that we are to present ourselves to be born again. And, be baptized. That's a big thing. So here's what I'm saying. I'm not getting off into churchanity so much, but what I am saying here is that it's important to understand and to know what people believe and what people are thinking as best you can. And so we want to give you that well-rounded education. And if you're looking at doing church history, well, there's more to church history than what's happened since 1520. We go back even further than that. We go back to those what we would call New Testament days, the days of the apostles, the days that Jesus was on this earth. And so we delve into that and we look at, well, why is it that during this Reformation that the reformers decided to remove 7 books from the Bible? And yet, as a historical church, we did not do that. Okay, then why is that? And so that's a question that we must ask. And it's a question that we must answer. And we look at it and understand that, everything that happened during the Reformation, well, we don't throw it all out with the, don't throw the baby out the bathwater, but we certainly need to understand what's happened and get a better accounting of things. Why do we have the attitude we have? Why do we act the way we act? And these are some things that we want to present through the educational system at St. Paul Christian University. And so if you can go to our website, just search it out, spcu.edu, spcu.edu. And you can go in there and hit our contact page, send us an email, and we'll get back with you, like Dr. Mark said, within 24 hours. And we will certainly do all we can to help you have a wonderful experience in Christian education, because we believe in the orthodoxy of the church, and we believe in being evangelical and sharing the good news. That is very important. From the very time that I enacted this vision that I've had for years for this school, it was, hey, we want to be evangelical. We want to be able to share with others, and we want to be able to open the door so people can be who they are and come in as who God wants them to be as they exit, because I think that's important. You come as you are, but through the process, you become who Jesus wants you to be. And I think that's important to our educational life and to our life in general. And we become better people because of it. So, what are the colleges of the university, Mark?
Well, let me get that section of our website up here so I can give you a good answer about that and speak intelligently about that, as we like to in higher ed.
And by the way, this is not his first gig in higher education. Tell me, you have a doctorate in education. You have a PhD also.
I do. PhD in curriculum and instruction, and an EDD, Doctor of Education in higher education. And my master's is in administration and curriculum.
Okay, great, great.
Yes.
And you have also taught as adjunct in other schools.
I have, yes. Several from public and private institutions and other ministries such as Indiana Wesleyan and Olivet Nazarene, the Ivy Tech Community College here in Indiana, Northwood, and based in Michigan. But before the internet, a lot of colleges, and they still do, have satellite locations, so they might be from anywhere, but usually generally close to the main campus, and set up cohorts and run courses in sequences, much like what we do, which makes, I think, a lot of sense, because what's coming up,
Sure.
the only thing that we don't have is that interaction with other students, and we're looking through in the future that we can put that component in, because that's very important to have learn from peers, and even if it's access to maybe discussions or papers that other students have written, that we would have permission to share. That there's lots of ways to do it, so we are looking at that. So that is kind of a one thing that is not available in this format, but that's why we do the robust type of curriculum to compensate for that, if you will. We have a College of Accelerated Studies experience that offers, and all of these offer bachelor's and associates programs, and kind of have acronyms. So College of Accelerated Studies experiences, CASE, and CAPE is College of Accelerated Professional Enrichment, and that has doctoral and master's degrees and associate degrees in it. CAPS is a College of Accelerated Pastoral Studies, which includes the Doctor of Ministry or a PhD in pastoral study, and then different types of bachelor's and associate's degree. CARE is the College of Accelerated Religious Education. You might notice the theme accelerated is in the name on a lot of these, and that's because we do go at a quicker pace. Now that's no different than a lot of the other what other colleges are doing. Indiana Wesleyan is most courses are 5 weeks in its program. I think Olivet's are 8 weeks, and so it isn't the traditional, if you will, 4-month or 16-week kind of semester that you might be used to with the traditional school. So we do ramp that up, but again, you can go at your own pace. You can take 4 months to complete a course with an active and keep your registration active.
Well, yeah, and of course, Jesus is coming soon. So
he's coming soon, and days is 1,000 years. So
that's right. Let's activate things and get them going. So
get them going.
That's right.
CARE is the College of Accelerated Religious Education, and CALL, the College of Accelerated Lay Leadership, and CAST, College of Accelerated Spiritual Transformation. COPE, and that's our College of Postgraduate Education. That's really our professional development. We invite our degree holders to present papers, if you will, at conferences that we host, in order to not lose touch with them and to keep the degree relevant. Because a degree is kind of a diploma, is kind of a terminal activity, even when it's not a terminal degree, like a doctoral program. And it's like you don't have to do anything else and you have that degree. But as we all know, learning goes on, and you better be about learning or you get far behind. So this is kind of an encouragement for that, and that we can stay in touch and do some meaningful things through that. So it's an opportunity to brush up on your subject area of your degree if you so are so inclined. Not a requirement, but it provides another level of that, plus a way for you to use your investment of education in presenting some research in an area that hopefully you have passion about, because that's really what it is. We want to hit where you have passion and keep those courses relevant to what you will be using after you graduate.
There you go. And we've got to wrap this up. Time is up for this session. And we'll be back another time and give you some more information. In the meantime, right now, go to spcu.edu and check it out, look at it. And while you're doing that, go ahead and stream our radio station. Go to faithpointsradio.com, faithpointsradio.com. Listen to some great music while you're determining what you want to do while you're at spcu.edu. Well, Dr. Mark, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next time. God bless you all.